What's going on, guys? Welcome to another collectible show and tell. I've got a fiery lineup today for you boys and girls. Before I bring them on, as usual, if you're not following any of my guests, make sure you do. All their links to their YouTubes and Instagrams are in the description. And also, if you are new to this show and you want to see more, I have a link to every episode in the description as well. Check out all my previous guests and check out some back catalog. We'll bring on my first guest. He's the returning guest today, making his second stint on Collectible Show and Tell. He is the great, legendary Metarog.
Thank you. You make me feel so old there.
What's going on, mate?
It's always great to be here with you, buddy. Thanks again for having me back on. Like I said, it's been about a year and a quarter or so. Had a blast with Gary B and you last time, so I'm good to be back.
Time flies, man. I can't believe that's been a year. It's incredible. Because I feel like I haven't really been doing this that long, but I must have been. So.
That was number 6, show number 6.
Oh, okay, yeah. Wait, so I'm trying to sort of go back to the older episodes and get some of those people to come back, but it's always hard. Like I've been trying to get you back for the last I don't know, 5 of them.
I've been very busy lately. Yeah, sorry about that.
A very busy man, that Roger. All right, my next guest, making his first appearance in the Simpleverse. He is a massive Star Wars guy. Him and his partner are amazing cosplayers, and he's also a fellow Aussie who went to live the American dream. He's Kachoong.
Oi, Aussie! I love having another Aussie on.
That's right. What's going on?
A lot of
mate?
my slang, hopefully, maybe it'll come out again.
I love that you're cheating a bit too. You know, you got your background there to just show off all the other stuff without having to show it off.
I always, mix this up a bit. We have a Star Wars show every week, so it's usually Star Wars stuff, but I just change it in and out all the time.
Oh, you change the shelf?
Yeah, no, well, the shelves stay where they are, but I just mix up all the stuff I have.
I'm guessing you saw Prey recently, hence all the Predator stuff, right?
Right. Love that. Anyway,
so
thanks
good.
for having me on, mate. I appreciate it.
Good, man. Oh, good. And I feel like he's made an appearance on my channel before. It's been a while, but very excited to see what this guy is going to bring to the table. It is John's Comics with... Oh, where'd you get that?
I don't know where I got this. It's just I was moving it around. It's really
All
great.
the way from Australia, that statue.
It probably cost more to ship it than it did to buy it.
I was so scared when I sent that. Like, I'd never sent anything so big. So I was really worried about it getting damaged. It was like a massive box.
It's huge. Yeah.
Wow.
Welcome, John.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. This is very exciting. I will say I went overboard and I had to text you, message you, and then I had to tone it down. So
yeah, okay.
I went crazy at first.
So people are aware when I invite them on. Like, there are some people that might only collect figurines. If you just want to show one figurine per round, that is fine by me. If you've got a couple of things to show, if you collect multiple things, you can show everything. There is really no real structure. Like some people might just collect pop vinyls. You can show me 5 pop vinyls over 5 rounds if you want. It's all good. I didn't know, like, a lot of people, how I choose my guests is I watch their videos. I'm like, oh, you've got stuff in the background. Like, Roger, you can tell. And Kachoong, you're like, oh, look at all those toys. He obviously collects other stuff besides comic books. You were a bit of a question mark, John. I had you on my list, but I was like, VHS.
I got a bunch of kooky, crazy things that I collect, and I had to narrow it down to 5 categories. And then within those, I kind of narrowed it down to like, okay, I don't share everything, just a few, like in that category.
Do we get to choose the categories and you have to quickly grab them? Or
Ooh, a little reverse categories. I mean,
it's possible that people that watch my channel would be able to guess 1 or 2 of my categories, but there's no way anybody could guess all 5.
Surfboards.
Well, just remember, John, everyone who comes on, I always want them to be the returning guest one day as well. So just make sure you
save something for round 2.
When Bearded was on, each round, he brought me to a new shelf and he showed the entire shelf each round. I was like,
amazing.
Oh, slow down. All right. We'll get the show started. And as always, we will start with the returning guest. That is Metarog. What you got, mate?
Oh, okay.
Round 1.
Yeah, I had a great time when I was on last time. I think I showed a yo-yo. I showed an Atari game. I showed some what do you call the record, book and record. So I figured I'd show something that I used to use when I was a kid, not this exact one, but it was, I think all of you probably too young to remember or using metal lunchboxes.
Wow, yeah. I had some of those.
Remember that?
Yeah,
this is from 1976. I always wanted this. And I, every time I got Scooby-Doo, I got Peanuts, I got a couple others, but I never got the Marvel superheroes until my friend Lawrence Everett found one at a flea market and gifted it to me.
And it's got has it got the
nice, I love it.
Your little handle?
No, has it got the what's it called inside?
I restored it. I restored it a bit. It was a little bit rough.
The color looks sharp.
Rusted, Here we got Hawkeye.
Oh, I see. It looks like the Wasp, maybe. Or,
yeah. Here we got Scarlet Witch. I think this is from Marvel.
Daredevil.
43, I think.
Daredevil. Where's my X-Men?
No, sorry. No X-Men on here. They had their own lunchbox in the 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there is the Hulk from, I think that's from Marvel Superheroes issue, if I remember correctly.
Nice.
And then, of course, you have the inside. He didn't have the thermos, but I tracked one down.
Oh.
So you have the inside. You have the little holder so that when you open it, it wouldn't pop out. It has a little clip.
A little strap. Yeah.
Yeah. And then it's so good I can't get it out. Here's the thermos.
So you were able to find the thermos separately, were you?
Yes, I found it separately on one of those offer-up things.
Nice.
It didn't have the top, but I had this one from Masters of the Universe. So,
wow,
I got it in there.
So that's the thermos that came with that lunchbox.
Yeah, except for the top. This one is this is from Masters of the Universe. It should be a black top, but big deal,
Reunited, man. You've married the thermoses.
That's right. I married up. So, it took about 40 some years, but I finally tracked down that lunchbox that I wanted all as a kid.
Tell me you're taking this to work with you with your lunch every year.
I work from home, but you know what? I keep it when I eat lunch. Sometimes I'll have it. Here, this is my office as well, John. So I'll have it. I'll put it out here and I'll drink from the thermos.
So I had a Dukes of Hazzard one as a kid. That was my.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
And then I went to Disneyland, and they sometimes will sell you a meal in a little lunchbox. And the one I got that I love, Kachoong would love this. It's Han frozen in carbonite. So it's like he's frozen on top, and you open it up, and your lunch goes inside.
Oh, that's incredible.
I've got this one, the Superman one.
Ooh, look at that!
Oh, that's a nice one.
That's embossed.
Cool. Yeah.
It's embossed as well.
That's a nice one. That's
down to $2 sitting on the floor.
Is that metal?
Shop. Sorry?
Wow,
Sorry?
Nice find.
Is it metal?
Yeah, it's metal.
Yeah. I have a few others. I have Steve Canyon, and I think I have the Scooby-Doo one somewhere. But this is the one that, really is the one I've wanted for so many years.
The Lunchbox Grail.
Yeah, well, I don't see things as Grail, but this brings me back to, Citrus Grove Elementary, Miami, and everybody had their lunchboxes out, and there's one guy had it right across there. And boy, I tried to trade everything in the world for that. He wouldn't go for it.
Oh, I love it. That's hilarious.
Awesome. That's your round one. Very good. Kachoong, what you got, mate?
So, you said when you messaged me, try not to make it, well, you don't have to, but try not to make it comic related. But some of the things I have maybe comic related.
It was more. No, it was more. I don't want. No, it was more. I don't really want people to bring comic books necessarily. Like, I don't want you to bring key issues that I watch on everyone else's channel.
Oh wait, I'll put that. Let me put my ultimate Fallout. Yeah, let me put my ultimate Fallout away. Hold on.
Yeah, comic book toys and related things are fine. I just don't really want comic books because that's all I watch on your guys' channels. So I honestly, and again, people have brought comic books, but everyone's done it very cleverly. They've brought sketch covers or like back. Foreign editions. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
So, well, just to make it clear to everyone. This one's a comic book character. I figured I'd start with my newest of my 5. Something that my wife searched far and wide for. They're pretty rare, and it's pretty heavy. So I got to be careful. And I can't remember if I posted about this on Instagram, but this is a Moon Knight statue.
Ooh. Look at that.
Whoa.
And it comes with a pretty heavy stand.
That is amazing.
That looks awesome.
What is that made out of?
I have no idea, but it's heavy. Probably concrete or something.
Wow.
So it's got a gargoyle on the stand. A lot of detail in that. And then I can take him off.
Cool.
The problem with those really good quality statues is they also break the easiest because they're made of rocks and stuff.
Yeah, I was gifted a statue from Comic Books NYC for the girls, and they did break a piece off of it already.
It's hard to when you can't focus on it.
Oh no, it's looking good.
The detail looks amazing. I love the color too. That silver is like gorgeous.
Yeah, it's not white.
No,
even the moon isn't white.
Who's the statue through? Like, who made it? Is it on the bottom? Is it on the bottom of the thing?
I see the bottom.
Yeah, sometimes the base always
the bottom of the base. Yeah.
Oh jeez. I'm not gonna be able to read that.
Come on.
Sculpted by. There it is.
The Bowen design statue.
Bowen. Okay, very good, very good.
365 of 2000.
Very,
awesome.
very cool.
That's
very nice.
But yeah, she was a legend. It was for a birthday a couple of years back. And I've collected Moon Knight comics since about, I guess 91, 92. I started in 90. So
do you have a favorite run in Moon Knight? It's like the one for you.
Yeah, the Munch one, the first one.
The Munch, yeah.
Yeah. Classic.
Well,
I don't know that I've ever read it, so I got to go back and read it.
I got the first 14 of that series when I first picked it up back in 91, and I still don't have the full run.
What? Wow.
Yeah.
I was going to say you probably got those cheap back in the early 90s.
Oh yeah. There's a few runs of my favorite characters I got.
Yeah, I think I picked up that whole series from the cheap bins back in the 90s. So. They were out there definitely.
I got them cheaper than the first issue's worth now.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But yeah, that's
a gorgeous statue, man.
Yeah,
I've yet to dive into that statue. I'm very scared to venture into that world.
Yeah, me too, John.
That's expensive and treacherous water.
I don't have the room either. So, I mean,
I think you just need to get the character that you like. Like, just choose one. Like, if you love a character, just choose one. It's like pop vinyls. Like, there's like 50 versions of one character.
Right.
Just choose one.
I don't think they have a statue of that leprechaun.
That's such a good joke.
That's a good one.
So good.
What's his name?
I don't even remember if he gave him a name. It's like Patty something. I don't know. Of course, it would be like racist. That's probably racist against Irish people, but I think it was Patty.
All right, now, John, before you show your stuff,
Right.
how rude of me to forget about shouting at the chat. But since you're the pro at that, can I get can I get you to shout out the chat for us?
This is like the old days when Rod would have Jeffrey Comic-Con do it, right?
Oh, where's Jeffrey?
I love Jeffrey. He was posting something earlier today because obviously She-Hulk's going down. We got Werewolf by Lunchtime tailgating first in the chat that I see. What is the Werewolf by Lunch? Another Aussie. Oi, oi, oi.
That's right.
And we got the panel all in the chat. We're all in there, living it down. We got a comic bookworm in the chat. What's going on? He says Roger's in Simpleverse again.
That's right.
Yeah.
There you go. We got Big O. What's up, Paul? Let's see. We got Remy Q. He says, I love this show. Hopefully, I'll be allowed to join again someday. We got Kyle, the promiscuous time traveler, somebody who lives dangerously close to me, and yet I've never met. So we need to make that happen. We got Kenneth Bird in the chat. What's up, Kenneth? We got Crystal, Glitter, and Duct Tape. What's going on? And let's see, the TheGreyman across the waters there. Good to see you, Mr. Greyman. And we got JP. Yeah. We got Swish Rips in the chat. What is going on, Swish Rips? And I think that is it.
That is how you do it, boys and girls. All right. What you got, John?
Now, either I can go with something that you never would guess in a million years, or you can take a stab at guessing, Simon. What do you prefer here? Want to guess? Try to guess one of my categories that I might have collected.
Well, I already have. I've already predicted that VHS tapes is one.
It's not. No VHS tapes.
DVDs will be another.
I do. I'm gonna go with DVDs. Let's go here.
Right.
So I love collected editions, and Lost has some amazing sets when they were releasing the discs. So this is the season 5 boxed set for Lost. It came in a Dharma Initiative like cardboard box, like stained and marked, right? Inside was a like 3-ring binder from the Dharma Initiative. I geek on this stuff, man. The amount of time somebody put into this. So you open it up, there's a VHS tape inside, a Dharma tape. So you can, I had to put blue tape on it just so it wouldn't fall out, but like you can put it in, and it's an orientation tape.
He nailed it.
Right?
Yeah.
Then there's little like files on getting to know your way around the Dharma Initiative. There's the cafeteria menu. So you know what day, you know what they got in the cafeteria. You got the motor pool. They can tell you about if your car breaks down, what to do, the rules of the road.
Wow.
Right? They've got a namaste welcome letter.
Wow.
And it came with several Dharma patches. And I've given some away to friends, and I sewed one onto a like a doctor's white, not scrubs, but like a white doctor's coat,
Smock,
like a lab coat. And so I've got one on there. Let's see. We've got the security team briefing. So you got that. The Dharma Initiative. Thank you for joining the Dharma Initiative letter. All of this. And there's still some patches. It looks like, so there's still some patches in here that I haven't used. That's the sheriff one. So you can be the Dharma sheriff. And then it tells you how to sew it onto your jumpsuit, where it goes.
Oh my God.
And then,
Disk?
well, that's the best part. These are the DVDs.
So
each disc for the show gets its own little like floppy disks like spot.
Cool.
So each, there's the first disc. Oops, sorry, the second disc. I'm gonna break it while I'm doing.
John likes Lost.
I know, right? There's even a Geronimo Jackson CD, which was the music that like they were listening to in the show, right? So all that.
Wow.
Then there's like little confidential files, and then this is the like little breakdown that the box set came with, like telling you all about what was in it.
And that's just one season.
This is just season 5.
One season, yeah.
One
do they
season.
do that for every season? Do they?
They did, and better than that, they did the full boxed set for the entire show.
Oh man.
Which I got. This was a long story, but I met the creator of the show, Damon Lindelof, and we had such a nice conversation that he basically gifted me this.
Oh, cool.
The entire show in a container. Like it has a little. There's the island.
The island. Mm-hmm.
It's black light, so if you shine the light on it, you learn more about the locations on the island. If you twist the map, it comes off, and there's a hidden disc behind it. It's crazy. It's crazy.
You met the creator. You met the creator, and did he just have one?
No, he ended up messaging me on Twitter saying, "Hey, John Jameson from Laguna Beach, are you on Twitter?" And I was like, "Yeah." And then he's like, "Thanks for the great conversation. Can I send you a box set of Lost?" And he did. So here's all the discs, everyone in their own little sleeve. There's also like a board game. This is the board, and it also can get black light friendly, and you can find all kinds of little things. So I have a ton of shows and movies like this, but Lost is on a totally different level as far as the thought that went into these things.
That looks like the bottom of a pyramid. Is there a top?
Yes, no, there's no top, but yes, there's a whole Egyptian culture thing to Lost, right? So the in on the little side here, the game pieces, and there's an Ankh, right? There's like a little Egyptian symbol. And,
Dr. Fate.
They even give you a Dharma Initiative blacklight to shine on it.
Yeah,
so
you
it came with its own little blacklight, and it's hilarious. Yeah.
Wow. Now you're now giving me the urge to see the Lost series again. I haven't seen it in years, but I love it. Love to go down the hatch.
It's a really fun series to binge. I think you can go watch and really watch it and get a lot out of it again.
You're right.
And it's a great story, JP. It's just a really long, the full story of meeting him and his wife, and it was very he's a really cool, really nice.
All right, John, A+ on that one, my friend.
There you go. Oh, now I got to put it all away. I'm going to mute myself while I put it all back.
Very good. Very good. All right, Roger.
Yeah. All right. So now I'm going a little forward in time, 1978. And these things here are really crazy, right? Because you know how they have premiums, things that, you would buy a product and then they would have like a Cracker Jack box that would have a prize, right? But sometimes the most, the craziest or things that you wouldn't really think would be, synonymous with some kind of premium, but like bread, right? Like white bread, right? So there was this Sunbeam bread, and in the package with the bread, you would get one of these more DC cards.
Oh,
and bread.
Yes, it was in the bread package. And this is the funny thing. You had to make sure that you got it when it was fresh, because if you waited till that bread got a little moldy, the card would turn like, yellowish, brownish, and it would be like no good.
I wonder how many cards went to waste then. Because, I'm guessing places just throw their bread out if it doesn't sell, right?
Right. Now, I think they had like a little barrier or something, but, forget it. If it was too long, it wouldn't matter. It would just
the scratch and sniff variants.
Yeah, exactly. Right. There's 30 cards to this set. And these are not my original ones. I did have some from there's actually several brands. Now, notice these are Sunbeam. There's also Tasty, and I think there were regional and something else from the Midwest.
So the cards had different brands too, did you say? Or they were put in different brands?
No, it was the same. It was the same umbrella corporation company, but they had regional, like for example, I think Carl Jr. is West Coast. Here it's Hardee's, things like that. So they'd have different names for franchises.
Wow. Like that. So what period of time did they release those? Like, did you go and buy 30 loaves of bread, or did you?
I don't remember exactly. I remember it was quite a few weeks at least. I only had 3 or 4 originally, and then one of those lucky things. You go to an estate sale, and the guy had almost a complete set, and I think I tracked one down like at a convention. So I got the whole shebang here. There's some Neil Adams art in here. There's Dick Giordano. I think there's Jim Aparo. So I just thought that it's crazy because, who, like they had like the things in like ding dongs and all that, but those were in cellophane. And I don't remember these being in a cellophane. I think it was just kind of like had a little separation, and then it was this, behind the bread. So anyway, a lot of people probably don't remember these unless they were a kid in the 70s, but it's crazy. And I am so glad to have finally tracked this down, because I remember telling my mom, hey, can we get 2-3 loaves of bread? And sometimes you get the same card 2-3 times.
Oh, that's the worst.
And I'll be like, ugh, you know. So,
Jim Aparo is my favorite bat cape drawer.
he is amazing at the cape, isn't
Hard
he?
to argue with that.
Amazing. Amazing. So that is my number 2, 1978. We're going to be going up in time as we progress through my 5.
Awesome. All right.
Well, in that case, I went from my newest. I might just go to my oldest. And I haven't had this, but it does represent basically my early childhood. It's the only thing that I'm showing in this category. But my mother-in-law came across an estate sale, and she mentioned that they had this. And I said, was there anything in it? And she let me know, yep, there was something in it. And I was like, I need it. And she actually, I was kind of joking, but in the end, she went back and she got it for me. And it is from 1983.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, the figure carrier.
I didn't have really any toys growing up. Up until I was about 8, all I had was Lego, which back then it was space Lego. That's really all you had.
Yeah.
And regular Lego.
They had like, yeah, well, they had like the knights and stuff, right? Then they had like the castles and stuff.
They did. I didn't think they even had that.
Wow.
I don't think that came across until like the 90s or something. But
Hmm.
so this is I know they had a release of the Darth Vader, but the Darth Vader was very common, a lot more common.
Yeah,
than
I think I had the Darth Vader one. I think as a kid.
And I would have had the Darth Vader one if I could have one. But I did have a few Star Wars figures growing up. I'd get one for my birthday. I'd get maybe 1 or 2 for Christmas. But this one, she found, my mother-in-law found this. She's incredible. And it actually came with about where are we? It came with about 50 figures.
Wow.
50.
Crazy. Let's see. Yep. And they're going to fall everywhere because even though this is a case to hold them, it is the worst. It's the worst figure case.
There's barely any room.
Yeah, they get especially some of the bigger ones tight.
Oh man, that's so big.
It's like they have labels, they have names, so you know who goes
so
in
they
which
got
spot.
labels, and they're going to fall everywhere. But so it came with a few troopers, a Darth Vader, an Obi-Wan. I think this is a Return of the Jedi. So, but there's some. I guess the person that owned this was an Empire Strikes Back collector. They collected through the Empire Strikes Back film time period. And then when Return of the Jedi came out and the cases came out, they must have bought the C-3PO case.
So cool.
But most of their figures are from Empire Strikes Back. But this kind of makes up for all the figures I didn't get as a kid.
That's awesome.
Wow.
My very first figure was a Gamorrean guard.
Those are so cool.
Return of the Jedi.
Right?
And because I hadn't got one until then. And I said, Mom, I wanted Han Solo. And she was like, well, they're all the same, aren't they? And I was like, no, they're not. I'll keep the Gamorrean guard, but I need Han Solo. And she got me Han Solo. She was pretty cool.
I don't know. So there's an anecdote that I love around these figures and Return of the Jedi involving Warwick Davis, the actor who played the Wicket, the tiny Ewok. Mm-hmm. He's gone on to be Willow in the movie Willow, and he was one of the professors in Hogwarts in the Harry Potter films. And he was a little kid when he did Return of the Jedi, and he met Mark Hamill and went up to him when he had all his action figures. And Mark Hamill was like, "Oh, it's really cool. Hey, are there any you're missing? Can I get you any?" And Warwick went home, made a list on paper, like 3 pages long, of all the figures he was missing, and he gave it to Mark Hamill. And his mom was so like, "Oh my gosh, sweetie, you can't do that. Mark Hamill's a big actor. What are you doing?" Mark Hamill got everything on the list and gave it to him.
Wow.
Amazing.
Just a little like I found a TikTok of Warwick interviewing Mark Hamill and bringing it up, and the two of them talking about it together. It was phenomenal.
Oh, that's cool. I gotta look that up.
Came with
it's beautiful. If I find it, Roger, I'll link it to you.
Okay.
Headless Bosk.
Headless Bosk.
Oh, look, here we go.
Ah.
Oh, Yoda.
Not Burger, am I?
Do or do not.
Oh, this was kind of weird. It came with 2 Palpatines. So one's a...
Was it supposed to?
No. I guess he liked his villains because he had 2 of them. Or she. Could have been a she.
Yeah.
And there's a couple of Landos.
Oh, in the Gamorrean or in the armor.
Yeah. So definitely Return of the Jedi.
Skiff guard or whatever that was. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's my second.
Cool.
Wow, very cool.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And I'll put this back together after the show.
So many toys have been hurt during the process of this show.
Yeah.
All right, mate.
All right. I'm gonna do one that you'll never guess, but you talked about like, ooh, stuff behind you, and I really just want to know about it. So this Iron Man cardboard cutout is made by a friend of mine who is a digital like graphic designer, and he works for a company that makes cardboard boxes custom for people that need it for things. And in his spare time, he just messes around with the program and prints things. So I have these all over my house, these different cutouts, and he'll make whatever you like. So the girls have ones with their names in their bedroom. He has ones that they can rotate out. They like Frozen for a bit, and the Frozen ones came down, and the Star Wars ones. So this one's for Dave. I have a life-size R2-D2.
Yes.
Yeah, this is like legit huge R2-D2 made out of cardboard, and he basically enters it into the program, designs it, and then prints it in layers so that like there's a back layer, then there's a middle layer, and then he adds this front layer on top. It's crazy the detail that he can get into these things. I'm sorry, I'm trying to like R2. So what are you doing? There he is. So I have a ton of. I'm looking over here behind me. There's one for California that I have on my wall right there. It says Laguna Beach, where I live, and I went to Long Beach State, so it works either way. But like he makes a ton of these things. He's so talented, and they're just I never show enough of them off, except that Iron Man one that's always behind me in my videos. He made me an Avengers one, and then when I was super into Game of Thrones, I even had like Winter's Coming. I had one for the one for House Stark, and then one for Lannister. This one looks like it took a little damage. The Lion, Hear Me Roar, was their statement. So he made one for the Lannisters and one for the Starks for me.
You need a whole room to display.
I do, like, honestly. And my younger brother likes to paint them, so his are like really colorful. I've yet to take the time to like intricately paint these, but he is absolutely like top tier at this stuff.
Did you say how he made what a laser cut?
It's laser cut with card. It's cardboard. All of this is cardboard. There's like several layers deep of it, right? And the more like detail, like R2 has 4 layers, 2 like thick layers for backing. Then 1 layer is the white layer that you see here, and then the 4th layer is the brown on top of that.
Nice.
And so he's got the machine and he's got the program on his computer, and he just like designs this stuff. If I ever come on again, I'll show you some of the Star Wars ones he made for the girls' room, because they're like AT-ATs with the word Star Wars, and there's like, it's just crazy cool. So, and of course, I've got Frozen way up there, but I can't get it down. So.
On the ceiling?
It's like up on top of a bookshelf. But yeah, I just every once in a while he'll swing by. Oh, I forgot this one he made for me. This is a Rebels one. It's just It says Johan Solo. So it's like, oh, it's like your name, but it's like got all the Rebels logos.
Don Solo.
Yeah.
My wallet has that symbol on it.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
So like he was like, I mean, he was just playing around with the logo, and this one's crazy. This one's like 7-layer
sick.
stick or
That
8-layer
can
stick.
just sit up right on a table.
Right. Oh yeah, you can set it on a
That's
table
cool.
on top of a whatever. And
Yo.
there you go. Oh, that one's actually heavy. I'm getting an exercise.
Whoa.
So there you go. That was a quick. I try to be quicker on that one.
Wow.
That was a good one. Very good.
Yeah, you'd never predict that one's right. There you go. Outside the box.
So cool.
All right, Roger.
All right. I know I said I'd be going up in years. I forgot about this, so I misspoke. Sorry about that. So you said like let's try not to do regular comics, things like that. I agree. This collectible show. Let's do something a little different. So this is a set that I put together years ago, and it's a Golden Age set, but it's very different than most Golden Age sets because it is the Mighty Midgets comic.
Oh, there you go. See, this is okay.
And, right? And what's cool about these are from 1943 by, although they have Fawcett characters, they're by Samuel Lowe. Samuel Lowe actually did like coloring books, things like that. And there's some of them are fairly obscure characters like Balboa, the magician, the boy magician, this is like his only solo title per se, And then you have, of course, Captain Marvel Jr. Obviously, he had his own title. He was in Marvel Family, etc. And you have Phantom Eagle. This is his only solo title. And these were available for 5 cents each, except there were a few that were actually attached to Captain Marvel 20 and 21. If you look at Jerry's, the Jitterbugs channel, he has one that has the glue spot from it.
Mm.
And in the back of these, they have a war bond, little war bond. It says buy war bonds. Because remember, 43, we were still in it.
That's cool.
Fund the war with comics.
Fund the war with comics. Yeah, there were a lot of those especially Fawcett. They had a lot with war stand. I have a few with war bonds on there.
They could probably fund 3 wars these days with comic sales.
Yeah. Golden Arrow. This is one that was attached. The only difference is that the ones that were attached had a full color ad in the back, and these have just the war bonds.
What are those sleeves you got them in?
Yeah.
These are Metarog creations here. I used regular bags and I cut the corner, and then I made the backing board a little bit longer so that I could hold it here so you could see the whole cover.
What'd you do? Did you tape them on the side, or did you use a lighter and weld it together?
I used an iron, yes, to seal them in there.
Clever.
Yeah. Golden.
One of those sealer things that.
I don't have one, so I used an iron. Before I put the comic in, and then I just let it, and then sealed it, right at the end, up here.
Wow.
This is Bullet Man here, and this is the big one. This is the one that's kind of on the pricier side because it's Captain Marvel and Billy Baxton.
Yeah.
But I got these way long ago for like a couple bucks,
Yeah.
So, but now I think they're worth a little bit more than that. But that's the whole set. There's another set from the previous year, but it's like Highway Patrol, not really characters, more like just random kind of events and people. So, but I wanted to get the ones with the Fawcett characters. I'm a big, obviously, fan of the Fawcett characters. And
Roger wows us again.
Yeah.
That was like last time you came on with Gary, and Gary B bought those tiny little comic books that were like card size almost. I remember.
Yeah, Bubble Funnies. Yeah. I have those.
Of course you
Hard
do.
to follow that. It's funny. I saw the intro and I was like, man, these are all awesome. How am I going to add any of this?
You've done well. Trust me.
Well, this is kind of surprising because I got something mini too. So I saw this movie in '86. I guess, what did that make me? About 12, 13. Blew me away. It got me really, I was already into villains. Darth Vader was my original villain love. But this really, I did D&D from about the age of 10. That got me into magic. And so that's why I love so many magical characters in comics. But when this movie came out, I was hooked on these villains. And the very first comic book I bought, and it wasn't, I started collecting about a year after this in 90. And in 89, I bought my first comic, and it was of this creature. But I found these. It came in a set. 6 pieces of art by Mark Nelson, who also drew with was it? They were both Mark Verheiden, and these are kind of plates. They're kind of thick. But
the comic book cover, isn't it?
That is indeed.
Yeah.
The first. So these came out in 1989. And they're just immaculate. I really should try and get one of those folders that everyone has to put their original art in.
Yeah.
I don't have a ton of original art, but I have a few now, especially Delphia has a few too, and we should probably get one of those
Definitely
folders. But these are really
gorgeous detail on that.
Yeah, they're just spectacular.
Yeah, the reticulation, that's beautiful.
So I just fell in love with Aliens, blew me away at the cinema.
Me too.
As an early teen.
Me too.
And then obviously Predator when it came out. But Aliens and Predator.
Look at that knife. That is awesome.
Yeah, beautiful 3-dimensional effect there. Great stuff.
Incredible. Yeah, I love these. I'd love to really display them. Probably should. So not only did it come with the 6, was it actually more than 6? I think maybe 7 or 8. It came with a mini comic.
Oh, cool! It's awesome.
Nice.
From February of '89. So this actually came out before these. This was the first when they did the mini series of Aliens versus Predator.
Yeah.
This was 34, 35, and 36 in the Dark Horse Presents, but this came out before that by Mark Verheiden. I could never pronounce it, but so yeah.
How many pages is that, Kachoong?
It is maybe 6. I think it's 1, 2. Oh, it's 2. So what? 8.
8, right? So it's a half comic, but yeah. Okay, great.
Kind of, yeah. There's
Nice.
2 full pages stapled together. So
right.
Oh, including the cover is 3 pieces of paper here.
Cool. I've never seen that before. That's cool. I collect mini comics, so that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, this one is really neat.
Yeah.
There's some of the Masters of the Universe had some mini comics. I remember there's one I'm actually after. They're hard to find.
Came with the action figures. Yep.
Use my
really nice.
dirty tree climbing hands. Yeah, I would like Werewolf. I would need a magnifying glass to read this. I mean, the words are tiny.
You just got to do what how you do it these days. You just take a photo and then just zoom in,
pinch and zoom.
When I'm reading comics, sometimes I try and pinch the comic.
Yeah.
Doesn't work.
A sign you needed your glasses, right?
And that's one reason to get the app. The Marvel app is incredible.
Yeah.
It's worth so much more than it costs.
Yeah.
And you can dive into thousands of comics and read all the books you want and never finish. And they're really only 3 months behind. So it's not too bad. You can stay pretty current. And you can pinch and zoom. You can see all those words.
Pinch and zoom.
Yeah, when you pay for the
What's that?
like when you pay for the actual proper Marvel app and DC app, I think, do the comics like play almost like a reel, right? Like it goes panel to panel
You can
rather
do
than
that.
playing the whole page. Yeah,
You can
I've
do it
seen-
either
I saw-
way. Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool.
You can like
Cool.
double tap and it'll zoom into the panel, and if you just keep like clicking, basically just tapping, it'll go to the next. It'll read the story like you would, and then if there's like lots of little word bubbles in a page, but then it's a full page spread, they'll do all the word bubbles to make sense, and then they'll zoom out to the whole page,
Yeah,
and then go to the next page.
yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
All right, John.
So
what
we're
you got?
doing tiny stuff, and I am definitely a Lego fan. So let's talk Legos, man. Here is the old Adam West Batmobile Lego that I built.
Did that come
with-
out? How old is that?
It's a pretty recent one.
Yeah, I thought it was a recent. I've
You
seen
can
a few people
probably
post-
still find this one. I think it's incredibly cheap, the price, considering how awesome it looks.
that
and you
size
get-
is the perfect size as well.
You get Batman, you get Joker, both the like Cesar Romero, Adam West, Batman and Joker. The costumes are so spot on, including the like eyebrows right on his cowl, like Batman's cowl. Yeah, the look of the old Batmobile, just spot on. And then it includes the little like plate, which tells you details about that Batmobile. So a lot of the Batmobiles you can buy in this format. Like I've got, I don't have the plate for this one, but you can get the Batmobile and it will revolve around on a plate, so you can like, check it out.
Feeling I didn't buy that when that one came out because I'm not huge into Lego, but when that came out, I was like, it was around the same time with a big '89 Batmobile, and that was like $400.
Oh
I
man,
was like, I'll buy the little $50 one. I'm good.
yeah,
with that.
I'm down with the little size. Like, I don't need the bigger ones. So I pulled a few, but I got like Robbie Reyes's
Well, that's
Ghost
cool.
Rider car,
Wow.
That's sweet.
the muscle
I love
car.
how they
looks
all
so
stand
great.
on top of the cars.
Oh yeah, I tried to put the player with the car so that they're rolling together. The flames on the wheel. I love the flames on
That's
the wheel.
fabulous.
And the most recent one I bought and put together was the Blackbird from X-Men. So there's Storm and Cyclops inside, Wolvie's riding high on the back. But it opens up. You got space for seating inside. It's just cool, man. I just love Lego. Lego's the best. So yeah, I am definitely all about it. And tomorrow on my morning show, I actually have a whole. Old Wolf sent me he went to a con and he's like, I found a bunch of minifigures, and he just sent me a ton. So I'm going to quiz my daughters if they know who those characters are.
How cool.
So
You should just hold Wonder Woman and say you have the invisible jet.
Yeah.
Actually, I do have the invisible jet, and it's all made of clear plastic pieces.
That's cool.
Really cool. But the girls have taken it apart, so I got to like rebuild it at some point. What's up, Rena and Sharon? How you doing?
I know.
And I'm gonna have a Rena Sharon shout out probably on one of the future rounds. So if they stick around,
Cool.
Oh, very good, very good. All right, we're getting on. So let's do it, Roger.
All right. So we're going forward here till the 80s now, and I'm besides a comic collector, I was a big video game guy during the 70s and 80s. Before responsibility came in, and although I have collected the systems through the 90s and the 2000s, because I used to haunt estate sales every Friday afternoon, Saturday mornings, and I would find them and I restore them and I modify them as well. So I found this system once in an estate sale. I've always wanted this system, but it's pretty rare here in the United States. They didn't sell a lot. I don't know if this was in Australia, guys, but it's the TurboGrafx 16. And it is
Never heard of it.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
It's hard to find, It was more popular in Japan, I do believe, where it was called the Core Graphics or something like that. But I've always wanted this because I love the shooters, Galaga, Galaxy, and all those kinds of games, right? And it had the best one of those. These supposedly 16-bit graphics, but actually I think it's 32-bit processor or something like that. And I found one in a estate sale for like $20 with about 20 games, Wow. And here's a couple. Look at the art on these boxes, guys. I mean, just really detailed stuff here. This is legendary.
Like current game. Look at that.
Yeah, it's really, really fabulous. Legendary Axe is one of those platforms. Actually, it's more like an action thing. Here is I put it in a Ziploc because I ran out of those bags, but I get I don't game all that much anymore because time is kind of a little bit of a commodity now. But here we have China Warrior.
China Warrior.
It's kind of like, if you remember Karateka, it's kind of like that. You're trying to advance on a single plane through all these villains. Yeah. Man, I have about 30 games for this system, and it's just hard to find. It has like this back cover that you take off, and you can put all kinds of like add-ons, like CD drives, things like that. And here you can put the games are like little cards. They're not
Hang on. So sorry, what year was it out in?
I believe it was 89 through 91, something like that. Here, I'll show you one of the games. So you can
and it had a CD drive add-on. That's out of control.
It's the games come in the CD case. You think, oh, it's a CD. No.
Wow.
It's this little bitty card. See, with the circuit board up there.
That looks cool.
Yeah.
I just had tape drive for my Commodore 64.
Yeah, I had a Commodore 64. I had the tape drive, and then when the disc drive came out, it was like,
yeah.
It only took about 20 minutes to load.
Awesome. The Bubble would be up in minutes.
Yeah. The tape drive, sometimes I could go to lunch, come back, and was still trying to load the thing. So I was really lucked out with this system. I've always wanted it. Never thought I would find one, and here it was, some random estate sale in Central Florida. And I love it. I played this thing to death maybe about 5-6 years ago when I was in between jobs, and boy, what a great time. I restored this one. It's actually pristine. I took it apart. I recapped it. It plays like a dream.
Wow.
Very good. Bringing on consoles we've never even heard of. I love it.
but you can play it now on an 80-inch LCD.
And it would look horrible.
Yeah, it will look very pixelated. I played it on my 40. No, I think it's like a 60-inch, and it still holds up okay. Because there's a video game mode thing on there. It kind of brings it a little bit.
Yeah, you need that. I think it's Comic Man Andy. I think he's like been playing PlayStation 1 games, but he's playing it on old tube television.
Yes.
So that it looks best played on the screens that were around back then, you
Right.
You can't bring that
cathode ray tubes, yeah.
It's funny because you posted that, and I have like the exact same TV. It's a little smaller maybe, but I have the exact same TV because I need it for my N64 and all that stuff.
Yeah, I think I got rid of mine probably about 10 years ago. That was a similar TV to that.
Did you have to call in like a 6-man crew to get it out? Because
I know. Moving it from house to house. Oh,
makers all the time. Yep.
Oh man.
Yeah. All right. Kachoong.
Me. Back to me. All right. I'll save the best for last. So I have a few up behind me, but basically my uncle was probably the one that got me into horror. And he was only 6 years older than me, so he was kind of a bad boy. And out of all my uncles, he was the youngest. And I used to visit my dad. My parents divorced when I was younger, but I'd visit my dad, and my uncle lived nearby, and he would take me down to the video store and get all the latest releases. And he introduced me to Evil Dead and The Exorcist. I was like 10 or 11 years old. All these terrible movies, but it got me really into horror. And I was very desensitized, pretty young, to the special effects, so I kind of knew that this wasn't real, and so I was fascinated by it. And in early high school, I would do projects on video special effects, like in Star Wars with the blue screen, which ended up becoming a green screen, all that kind of stuff. And I wanted to be special effects artist and all that, so I guess cosplay kind of evolved from that. But also was my love for zombies, and so I have so many zombie novels you wouldn't believe. And I guess I was just going to mention a few of my favorite artists: Jonathan Maberry, the Ghost Road Blues, and the other two are Bad Moon Rising and Dead Man's Song. So Jonathan Maberry, he also writes the Patient Zero, which is probably one of the best zombie novels there is, and then the Dragon Factory and King of Plagues are two of his as well. And there's a series by David Wellington. This is called Monster Island. And then the other two are Monster Nation and then Monster Planet. But basically, the start of this, the guy wakes up as a zombie. And it was kind of the first story that I had read, at least from that perspective, where you wake up lucid as a zombie. And so he ends up taking over the world. And another good writer is Scott Sigler. This one's called Contagious. This is more like an infection kind of, not quite zombies, but infected by some kind of parasite or aliens. But Scott Sigler, all these writers are just brilliant. So if anyone's interested in zombie novels, they might know these three artists. There's another one by Peter Klein called Ex-Heroes. And so it's basically set in Hollywood, and the world is, well, at least that part of the world is this bunch of superheroes, right? And so it takes on the story of, well, what if the superheroes became zombies too? And so some of them die, some of them become zombies, and they keep their superpowers and obviously become the villains. And it's really cool because they kind of ride in famous people walking down the street as zombies. And well, I think that was all the artists.
Have any of those become films or anything?
I don't think so. I don't know why. They're all brilliant stories. Craig DeLuey is another one. See, Jonathan Mabry was in the military. So he has a lot of detail on like logistics and stuff, as far as it doesn't get too into the weeds as far as that goes, but it gives you a lot of in-depth on how, the army and everyone, take on the zombie plagues. And Craig DeLuey is even more so military related. Tooth and Nail. This is a hardcore zombie novel. It's probably more intense than 28 Days Later.
28 Days Later,
yeah. It's Craig DeLuey. That's the fourth I would guess I would recommend. So yeah, I have like a couple of shelves of zombie novels.
Nice.
Wow.
Nice.
Very into zombies. So Walking Dead, I actually kind of fell off Walking Dead. It got a little boring for me.
Went a little long, that's for sure.
Yeah. Went past its prime for sure.
What about Deceased? I know that's one of John's favorites.
That's pretty neat.
All right.
I haven't read the new story. I know they got a new one.
I'm a bit behind, man.
The vampire one, yeah, I was interested in.
No, but there's a new Deceased one coming, like the final volume of Deceased.
Yeah. So I haven't even read the last one, so I've got them all, but just never find enough time to read these days.
All right, so Sharon, if you're still in the chat, this is where I'll give you a little nod here. So this is something I collect that's not like any. I know some people that are into this, but I've gone a little extreme. I have about 40 community member shirts, like shirts from different people and members in the community. So some of them are one-offs where you can't get it. It's like, I just got Old Wolf's face on a shirt. Like if you want an Old Wolf shirt, you can't, there's nowhere to buy this. You just got to know Old Wolf, and then you got to get an Old Wolf shirt. Right. Right. So that others like Sharon, I've got a few, Isle of the Darks. Maybe there's some people on this panel with some Isle of the Dark.
I got this.
Wow.
Right.
That's neat.
I got a Just a Rican.
Cool.
I got my Rican shirt, and now I'm going to show you some of the ones that are one-offs. Like you can't get these. You can't get these anymore. They don't sell these anymore. So here's my TMNT Club from Jabroni.
Limited edition.
Oh, they don't sell these anymore. It was they sold them limited edition. Proceeds going to the Jabroni family, and then they stopped selling them. So
wow.
So I got my TMNT Club shirt, but I also have this one you can get if you go to any of Jabroni's old videos. You can get a Jabroni tank top. Just go to his Teespring. It's right. The links are in any of his older videos. So I went back and snagged one of those. my buddy White Whale Comics had his own publishing company and had shirts from when he had his publishing company, but he doesn't sell these anywhere. So you know, you got to know him. You got to pull him aside and ask him to open a new box to hook you up. I added recently a Superrus 9000.
I need one of those.
These are awesome.
I gotta get
highly recommend. These are hard to find, but you can get a Perry. What do you mean?
What do you mean?
These he doesn't publicize that he sells these. You have to go back into his videos like 3 years ago, dig down in the links to find his Teespring, to find the What Do You Mean shirt.
Wow.
I had to go hunting for that one. Let's see, what do I got here? I got the
Wow. So make a t-shirt, guaranteed one sale.
I mean, John, yeah, same with I don't sell these, somebody else sells these, but yeah, the King Johnson shirt.
Nice.
By the way, the best part about it is it's two-sided. You got
nice.
Whether you're coming or going, you got the shirt.
Beard was a little less gray back then,
right? I'm gonna just say that was the filter. So like, yeah, I buy shirts for people that I'm friends with, and I want to support them when I see they've got. So every couple of months I buy. So I've got probably like 30 shirts now that I wear out, and people are like, who is that? Like, what are you doing? They're my friends. Like, they're my friends' shirts. So
I need to do that.
Yeah, you would need a logo first, JP, and then you could make a shirt, and then you can sell. Like, you're so far behind on this whole thing. You're way Superrus has you crushed on this. I'm just telling you right now, straight up. So yeah, I collect shirts. That was just a smattering. I probably have like 3 times that, if maybe more.
That is.
I love the one-offs. I love the one-offs where it's like you can't get it anywhere. This was a one-off and it's done.
I'm the only one who has a Young Wolf shirt.
What?
That's right. I've got the one with Tony from the 80s.
Oh, so I got to find a way to get a hold of that one now.
Nah, man, it's
you
one
can't
of one.
One up me. You can't be one up me.
Exclusive contract. One of one.
Cool.
So yeah, I buy a lot of that. Like, this is a Morbius. This is from Morbius's website. I got one from Morb. Yeah, nice. I love it. I love buying that stuff.
A whole wardrobe.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Very good. All right, we've already gone over the hour, so we'll try to pump through the final round.
All right,
take it home, Rog.
Real quick. So, lastly, here, this is one of the more modern pieces that I have. I moved here to North Florida about a little more than a year ago, and my nephew moved here several months back. I went to Comic-Con with him, if you saw that video, and even though he's a manly man, he does needlepoint, right? And I was like, man, he showed me what he made. He made like an R2-D2, which was so detailed. So I was like, can you make me one of my favorite characters? Maybe my favorite character, Captain America. He says, yeah, send me a picture. So I sent him a picture of Captain America, and he did, a fabulous Captain America head on here. Nice. And this is all needlepoint. This is all colored string, colored thread. He nailed it. The shading, the square jaw, the wings, everything is absolutely perfect.
That's gorgeous.
Wow.
It took him like a week to make this like straight. He was watching, I believe what's his favorite show? The show where the Egyptian portal and they go to other worlds.
Stargate.
Yeah, Stargate. He was watching Stargate DS9 for a week, and they made this during that.
That's so funny.
So his name is Gabriel, and there's his initial, Gabriel Starling.
That's
I wonder.
Cool.
I wonder if they have to do like a sketch first and then like needle in over the sketch, or does he just go on a blank canvas?
He printed out what I sent him, and then he got the colors, and then I don't know if he puts it over, but he puts it like right next to it. Yeah.
What's that art called? What is that?
Needlepoint.
Oh, that's what it's called. Okay.
Yeah. Correct. So that's my last one, and I absolutely just adore this. I have a Captain America corner here. I have a Kirby cap, I have a poster, and things like that, and this is right up there with it. I just absolutely adore it.
That's so cool.
Wicked. Very good, mate. Original art. There you go.
There you go. It's in a different form. It's not paint. It's actual, matter.
Very good. Kachoong, what you taking us home with?
I'm going to show you my pride and joy. Favorite all-time sci-fi, even though what I said about aliens I love them. But this is my favorite sci-fi character. And in the mid-90s, I had a friend who worked for like a museum, and he would paint all the big, huge dinosaurs. He was an artist and like actually paint them to look real. So I said, can you teach me that? I need to learn at least a little bit of painting, because I did models like motorcycles and cars and some planes and stuff and some soldiers. But I got this as a kit, and he taught me all the skills I needed to know on how to paint. And it's been across the world. And it's a little bit worse for wear, but it came with either the mask version or the face version. Come on, focus. Focus.
Yeah, not so close.
There you go.
There you go.
So he learned me dry brushing techniques. He taught me all sorts. And it really, it
that
just
is
pops.
amazing, Kachoong.
Hang
I
on.
need
So
to
the
find a
statue.
bit- What's that?
So the statue itself, when you got it, well, is it just not?
It
colored?
came as arms in 2 pieces, legs in 2 pieces, feet, hands, the head. It came with a back piece. It came with the mask, which
Oh, that's cool.
I painted too, and dry brushed. And then this thing fell off in transit from Australia, but this mounts. It's his gun.
Yeah, that's his
Mounts on his
cannon.
back and shoulder.
Yeah, I love the head with the spine. That's a nice touch.
And yeah, I made that out of basically what I can't remember what that stuff's called, but yeah, you just mold it, and then we painted it red, and then put some like clear coat over it, some blood on his hand.
So amazing.
That's clever as heck. I'm sorry. That just
How long did it take you to paint it?
And build together. To put it together took about maybe 4 hours, but to paint it, I think I probably spent about 28 to 30 hours painting it.
I mean, it looks like it. I mean, it's just so intricate.
And I need to get a good base for it, because I have one, and he's like leaning back like this on base. Like, he's supposed to, if anything, be leaning forwards. But yeah, Pride and Joy has come across the world with me.
Wow.
And he needs some
That's
touch ups,
cool.
but yeah, I love Predator.
And Predator is
I love
probably
the
the
new
hottest
movie.
thing right now.
Yeah, I heard great things about that new movie.
Yeah, it's so good.
It's my second favorite after the first one.
Yeah, first one is such a classic. I mean, I've seen that movie 50 times at least, Kachoong.
Yeah, same.
So good.
I feel like I want to rewatch the second one, because I know there's. I didn't realize when I watched Prey, but someone was telling me about the throwback to the second one. And I was like, oh, I think I need to.
Yeah, I haven't seen that in a while. My mom used to take us to Puerto Vallarta for vacations, where they shot certain sequences, and there's like old helicopter wrecks there, and that my brothers and I would climb in them because they just left it. And the people in Mexico set up signs where it's like you could roll by and be like, "There's Arnold's face," and there's a little arrow, and you drive up into the hills, and where they shot the movie.
Cool.
Yeah,
Cool. Get to the chopper.
King Willie, right? Was in the second one.
King Willie, yeah.
Was he the drug dealer guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, Rastafarian.
Rastafarian, yeah.
Voodoo magic
Danny
man.
Glover, yeah.
Awesome. You covered every like sci-fi.
It was his like, it was a monster sci-fi. The Moon Knight. Although there's werewolves,
aliens, Predator.
Yeah.
Very good. All right, John.
So I've been the last few years, I've been kind of dabbling in commissions from friends and art pieces. And so I'm definitely wanted to share some of that. And my favorite piece is obviously Storm. And this is a piece that I absolutely love. And Nathan, he goes by, I can't, Nicholas Lane on Instagram did this for me. And he's done several for me since as well. He titles them all after songs. So this is Hit Me With Your Best Shot. Kind because it was like, oh, I got to pick something 80s to fit with her 80s mohawk. And then he sent me,
would fit.
yeah, right. And he does a digital color version as well that he sent me. So I have a version of this in color that is just as impressive. Wow. But I love the black and white. Just everything about what he captures of her, and this era of Storm is my favorite era of Storm. And it's just any chance to share this is just I'm gonna take it. So yeah. Picking just one of his, I bought 3 pieces from him, but this one is still my favorite.
Wow,
that's awesome.
Incredible.
You have, so you got a bit of original art in your collection, or is that
just a tiny smattering? I basically have 4 pieces about this size that I want to frame and start putting behind me. This USA is going to go away at some point here, so. I knew that I wanted 4 specific ladies, 2 DC Batman character females. So I ended up with Poison Ivy and a Catwoman, and then 2 X females. So I've got Jean Grey Phoenix and Storm.
Cool.
So, and where do you store that?
I have a little like portfolio sleeve that I've been using, but it's not terribly sturdy. I just have to be really careful where they're all 4 pieces are in the one container there. Just have to be careful about where I put it because it is somewhat floppy. I do have some larger size. What are they called? Because the comics have them too. They're like the plastic cases.
Top loaders?
Yeah, top loaders. So I do have some top loaders that are larger size that are good for prints. Like if you bought a print from an artist at a con, they fit perfectly. These are just a little bigger. They don't quite fit in those.
Yeah, Carvey's got like top loaders in all sizes. He'll have like poster size ones.
Oh, he's got and well, he needs it. Like I've probably only got 5 to 7 maybe pieces of commissioned art that size. Most of the time it's remarks or sketch covers or things like that.
Same with me. Yeah,
same.
Very good. That was it. We did it. We made it to the end. We went a bit over, but that's cool. We always go a bit over. But I guess before we finish up, as always, we like to give you guys the let us know what's going on your channel. We'll start off with, hang on, I'm really slow at this. Metarog. There we go.
Bam. Hey. Well, tomorrow I'll be on, I think I'm going to be on Cover Slingers on Greyman's channel. I think he's in the chat, so he could let us know if I'm on there or not. And then that evening, I'm co-hosting with Gary B on a 1011. I'm going to be out for a couple of weeks. My wife's birthday and our anniversary is coming up, so we're taking a cruise for about a week or so.
Congrats! That's awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been a long time coming. since the big C was around. Didn't want to go, but now things are a bit better, and so. But yeah, that's about it. I'll have my my giveaway links video on Thursday, and probably that'll be it. And then I'll be gone for about 2 weeks.
Very nice. Kachoong, I know you don't do a lot of stuff on your own channel these days, but what you got coming up?
Nothing on my channel. Absolutely nothing on my channel. But if you go to my channel, you can find my wife and mine cosplay channel, DK Comics and Cosplay. We haven't done anything for a long time. We haven't cosplayed for a long time. We just lost motivation through the pandemic.
Sure.
But we'll probably get back into that soon. Maybe. We'll see. But every Wednesday I do a show with Mr. Gorell and Hoser, and we talk about Star Wars every Wednesday night at 8:30 Eastern. It's usually every week, but we've had a few weeks off here and there. I think we just did our 50th episode in about 16 months. So I think we're doing Mon Mothma next week, talking about one of the characters that's coming in the upcoming Andor show. And well, actually, I'm planning on something big, something about Dr. Fate, since he's coming up in the Black Adam movie. He's going to be basically making that movie. I think Pierce Brosnan is going to hold that film up. But I'm thinking about once I have some study out of the way, I'm going to talk about Dr. Fate. And if anyone knows a lot about Dr. Fate and is wanting to maybe come on the show, I'm probably going to have, I've talked to Old Wolf. He knows a bit about DC, but if you want to be involved, let me know.
Probably hit up Greyman. He knows a lot about Dr. Fate.
Ah, awesome. Yeah, maybe I'll hit Greyman up. But I'm going to try and do that before the movie comes out, just to give people a bit of a background on Dr. Fate.
Nice. I've got the link to your channel anyway in the description, so make sure everyone checks that out. John.
Yeah, so I am now a soccer and volleyball dad, and that's taken up a ton of my time. But I do have a show tomorrow morning with my daughters. It'll be one of the last traditional Saturday shows we'll be able to do. However, it's going to be here in this other room. The couch is off limits due to home renovation stuff that's going on. So we will be down here in the back room. And then I've got Comigories again, Monday night, back-to-back weeks. We got Biggie Shaq. He's now the champ, and he's coming back. So that's going to be a lot of fun. And he's got a friend of his on the other brackets. We got D-Runk playing on the other side. So if they both win, it's going to be divided loyalties in the finals. So be ready.
Very good. I'm a bit behind on Comigories, so it kind of sucks because I think I haven't watched the last. I just started watching the one where Tacoma won for the second week.
Mm-hmm.
I
just spoiled. And I just spoiled. I was going to say, I just spoiled it.
I always know who wins now when I watch the.
You look at the thumbnail and it tells you, right?
Yeah, I'm well behind. So yeah, I appreciate you guys for all coming on again. Dave, John, I'll have you guys back on. Metarog, you're always welcome, and you'll be on call too.
Thank you, buddy. Anytime.
Yeah. Thanks everyone for hanging out in the chat. I appreciate it. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up on the way out. And until next time, keep it simple.